Hey everyone, welcome back to the Stationery Junkie. I know it has been a while, but I'm back and I'm switching things up a bit. So instead of me just rambling about my latest hauls, pen obsessions, and my thoughts about certain things about the stationery world, I thought why not talk to other people who love this hobby just as much. So starting with this episode, I'm introducing a new format where I sit down with fellow stationery lovers to chat about their process, their favorite tools, and the little joys that come with this hobby. So I'm hoping these conversations spark inspiration not just for me, but for you listening as well. And for this new format, I had the absolute pleasure of talking to Danielle from My Dandelion Diaries on YouTube. So if you've ever watched her calming, thoughtful journaling videos, you'll know how magical her style is. She was super gracious to share her time and her thoughts on fountain pens, planners, and how she approaches her stationery routine. So grab your favorite pen, maybe a cozy drink, and come hang out with us. And I think you will enjoy this conversation as much as I did. Let's get into it.
Danielle, I want to thank you for your time in joining me in this podcast. I know you're very busy, but let me be the first to say congratulations and best wishes in your upcoming nuptials.
Thank you
for your time.
Thank you. Very excited about it.
All right. So again, thank you for your time joining us in the podcast. And I wanted to ask a couple questions when I, invited you to this recording. And as one of the many people who follow your YouTube, I'm such a huge fan of your channel and of your art and everything that you do. My first question would be, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and how My Dandelion Diaries began?
Sure. I'm a Texas girl through and through. I grew up in the country. I've ridden horses since I was like the age of 7. And I was obsessed with art as a child. Like every Christmas, I would always ask for like pastels or colored pencils or markers or some kind of art supply. And as I grew up, I kind of evolved into more of, I guess, planning or journaling because that was just, I don't know, something I was really drawn to. And it just kind of evolved from that. As for like the start of how My Dandelion Diaries began, to make like a really long story very short, I was really unhappy with what was going on with my life. And I took a plunge, kind of hit a YOLO moment, if you will, like just, I'm just gonna do it and hope it works. And it worked out. I had a really good support system, and I was just like, I'm going to start this because I'm really passionate about it, and I hope it works. And
it did. So, it did. Oh my goodness. Can you believe that? I'm not sure if you know. When you had your first giveaway, I was the winner.
I knew it was you when you emailed me. I was like, oh my gosh, it's Anne. She was my first giveaway winner. I was so excited. So
I'm like getting to interview, winning your first giveaway and getting to interview. It's like full circle.
Full circle
yes,
for sure.
Yes. So would you say, like, growing up, you mentioned you've always been into this thing. Is that your first foray into planning and journaling, like, at such a young age?
Yes. So my mom is actually she lives in kind of like the project management world, right. And she always made sure I had a planner for school. And I guess, like I was talking about, like the art supply in me, like I just really wanted to make it pretty because I really liked looking at pretty things like colors, and I was just really drawn to that. And so every time she would give me a planner for my schooling, I would, color in it or doodle, add my own kind of creativity into it. And it kind of evolved from that. Like, I don't know, that's the best way I could describe it. I started with Erin Condren planners when I was like 13, 14, like beginning of high school. That was like the first real big planner I ever got versus like the $5 ones from the Office Depot. So she got me one of those for Christmas one year, and I was just head over heels, and I fell in love with the planner world after that.
Wow, very curious. This is the first time that I'm hearing that Erin Condren was like your first planner.
Yeah, she was. She was like my first real, like, I guess, more bougie planner, like more upscale planner. So and it worked really well for me for when I was in school. She, like, the formatting she used with the vertical column columns. Like it worked really, really well for me.
But did you always see yourself creating stationery content, or as you said, did it evolve over time?
I would say it evolved. I never thought about adding my kind of take on the stationery world onto like the world. Like I never saw myself being a YouTuber or making stickers for people or anything like that. I just really enjoyed consuming it, I guess. And like Helen of the Coffee Monsters Co. is one of my favorite channels, like favorite. And I know she's so loved by everybody. And then on top of that, I would just kind of branch out and watch like there was one called Sam Plans years ago. I think she still makes content. And then Julie Plans. Like I loved watching all of their little worlds and like how they would make their planners pretty. And I was making my own planners pretty. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm just going to try and give my take and see what happens. And that was kind of like the YOLO moment, right? Like, and if everybody hates it, it's okay. But it turned out really well. And I was very shocked, especially like the first few months of me making content for YouTube. I was just like, oh my goodness, like I was not expecting this kind of reaction to just me putting out my planner in the world.
It took off, let me just say. It really took off. Like after the giveaway, it's just like I was following, because I followed you right after the giveaway, and I was like constantly following you, and your trajectory just skyrocketed. And I think I also saw a lot of people coming up with their own YouTube channels and planners as well. So I think it became a huge thing.
I love that. I love people adding creativity into this world. Like it's so much fun.
Absolutely. And that's a perfect segue to my next question, because for most of us who follow your channel, we know that you're a person who uses multiple planners and journals. How do you keep up? Please let us know.
I get this question all the time. I'm pretty sure this is one of my most asked questions in my comment section. The easiest way to answer it is I'm used to it. Because in school, I only used the one planner. And then when I got to college, I used two. So in college, I had like one planner for my schoolwork, and then I had another planner for like my social events, my family. And it's kind of started this compartmentalization in my brain. Like everything had to have its own little category, its own little space. And obviously now I'm up to like 13, 14 books at a time, which I know sounds absolutely ridiculous. But I don't use all of them every single day. And I try to talk about that in my videos that I make about multiple journals. Like I don't use all 14 books in a day. I'll probably use like maybe 4 a day. And to keep track with them all, it's more of just, it's something I enjoy. So I dedicate time to it. So I will have a segment of my day where I just sit with my book and just really enjoy, I guess, being with them. Like, I don't know, it's almost like a me time, an inner peace, just sitting down with them. So keeping track with like 4 to 10 or however many books I put in front of me is just like, okay, I have an hour to myself. Let's see what I could do today. And I'll just start filling them out and, keeping track of the things that I really like to keep track of.
So it seems to me that you have a set routine. And whenever
I kind of do, yeah.
I see. Would you mind sharing with us, like, what does a typical day in Danielle's life look like, and how do you integrate your planners and journals within that particular day?
Yeah. I would say my day-to-day is fairly consistent. I don't really have a lot of like crazy fluctuations in like my schedule, I would say. I usually like wake up, I'll go take care of my chickens, and then I'll come back in, start working on like packing orders, planning content, have lunch. And then as the day progresses, I'd say probably around like, I don't know, 6 p.m., 7 p.m., I'll kind of like log out for the day. Like that's like my stopping point. Like, okay, I need to have my own time now. And then I'll spend, 15 minutes to an hour, depending on what else I want to do that day, just sitting with my journals and planners and kind of filling them out, like I said. But I mean, there are definitely days that I don't even touch my books. And then the next day I'll backfill the day before. For example, like if I have a really big family get together or it's a holiday and I'm not going to dedicate, an hour of my time to my books when I have social responsibilities with my family. Like I have no problem like just going back a day and backfilling, or even a couple of days, like if I'm really struggling to find time for myself. But I would definitely say like routine wise, it's usually like the end of the day, 15 minutes to an hour where I just sit down and fill out all my books.
And I just want to say that part of your content when you talk about your journals and planners is my favorite of all. When you do your monthly recap, and your Techo
Oh yeah.
Chinese is like the best. Like,
Yeah.
let me watch that.
It's
Let me watch that for the entire day. I love
they're
that.
fun to make because it's like a little memory of you for myself. Like, what did I do this past month? And then I get to read it all again.
Yeah, and I also keep saying in like my Techo Kaigi that watching your videos, like your health planner, this is like where I got my ideas from. I really want to thank you personally for that because your
Oh yeah,
tracker
for
is
sure.
amazing. Changed my life.
Yeah, it changed mine too. That's why I shared it. I was like,
And that's
more
the
people
reason
need to have health planners.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess what advice would you give to someone who wants to try using multiple planners but feels overwhelmed?
I would say take it slow. Like I said, I started with just one more book, right? Like, so like I had my school book and then I had a social book and then it worked out for me. And then I added more and more on top of that. So maybe do one at a time. Don't just start using one planner and the next day you have 15. Maybe just do like one more or two more. I would also say have fun with it. Like don't make it a chore, because I think that's one thing, especially in our community, that becomes a bit hard to swallow. Like a pill that's hard to swallow is like, I have bought all of these planners and I have all of these supplies and I want to use all of them, but I just feel like it is such a chore to have to pull out all 5 books and sit down with them. Like if it's overwhelming you, full stop. Like just take a breath, maybe do 2 planners that day instead of 5, and then check in with it again the next day. So start slow, have fun, and yeah, just don't bite off more than you can chew, because just don't bite off more than you can chew. Just take it slow.
Yeah, and I like what you said in the last Techo Kaigi that you have, that you do have 14, right? And there was one point wherein for a month you did not touch your book, and that was
for like a whole month. Yeah,
it was totally fine, right? You're not beating yourself up over it. Nobody's policing you. Even if
there's no rules. You make your own rules with this.
Exactly. And like even for people like us who make content on YouTube, I know it could be like some sort of internal pressure to like fill up your books because you're making content, but really it's nobody will really take that against you if you live your life. I think
right. And that's also something like I really, I guess, strive to do for my channel, is like I'm not going to pretend that I used my planner for a whole month when I didn't, because that's so much stress for me. Like it's almost like I'm just making this big fat lie, right? And like,
yes,
I don't know, I have this anxiety with that. Like I just can't. It's better for me to just be like, you know what, guys, I didn't use it, and it's okay, because I lived my life in another country for almost a whole month, so it's okay. I feel like a lot of people need to hear that too, because there's this kind of perfectionism world too with this. Like everybody has to have every page filled out and it has to be beautiful every single time. It's like, no, that's not reality. Like reality is one day you had a really crappy time. Maybe, your kid got sick and you had to stay home all day with them and you had no time for yourself, or you had a really bad day at work. Like it's okay to just, do something to bring back the happiness in your brain. And if leaving your planner or journal alone that day is what does that, it's totally fine.
Yeah, and I like that you were so real with your Techo Kaigis, showing all of your spreads, sometimes just one line, one sentence saying
right.
Right? Yeah. That's can't get realer than that.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of days where it's just a one-liner. That's kind of reality.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of planners and multiple planners, like your spreads, it's like your aesthetic is like so distinct. Other people might say it could be like too busy, like too much going on. But personally for me, I really love your design, or like the way you try to personalize your planners to your liking. I'm curious, where do you draw the inspiration from both your planner spreads and of course your sticker designs? Because later on we'll talk about your small business. Can you tell us more about like where you draw the inspiration for your planners, like the design for that?
I really don't know how to answer this. I feel like it just kind of comes to me at some point. Like, I don't know, like a moment of inspiration just waves over my brain and I'm like, I'm going to try this today. And sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. I would definitely say that I consume planner content. So I do take bits and pieces of, other people's art that I really like and try to recreate it myself. I also just kind of live. So like if I go outside and like there's a really pretty sunset, I'm like, wow, I really want to go do something with sunset colors. Or I'll go to the store, like I'll go to Target and they'll have this big array of, fruits and vegetables or something. And I'm just like, wow, that looks really pretty. I wonder if I have something I can do in my journal that has like a bunch of fruits and vegetables vegetables on it. Same for like when I'm I guess more of like memory keeping, more like scrapbooking in my journal. I'll try to make sure I add pictures or bits of ephemera or stickers that relate to what I was journaling about, which I guess that's mainly like where my journal pages go, is like if I have some kind of memory that I want to look back on, it's easier for me to just look at an image versus reading, my full page of pick and scratch. So like I would say inspiration wise is like comes from like what I'm doing in my day and also like what I'm visually seeing, in addition to just those random moments where my brain is like, let's try this. And then as for like sticker designs, I kind of just go with the flow of like whatever I feel like drawing. Like my most recent release was all about Dungeons and Dragons because I've been having so much fun with my group, and we're about to finish our campaign and start a new one, and I wanted to have stickers for myself to kind of note that kind of stuff in my planner, because I feel like there just wasn't anything out there that I was really drawn to, like other creators who've made Dungeons and Dragons content, stickers, whatever. And so I was like, I'm gonna make something and see how it turns out, and I'm really happy with the end product. So I would say design wise for stickers, I kind of see what I'm looking for or maybe what other people are searching for and try to create something that would be able to fill that gap, that hole.
Yeah, and I guess because you are also a planner person, a journal person, you kind of like know what other people are searching for, or like filling, as you said, that gap to create. So also, yeah, absolutely.
I definitely like the range of like small stickers to big stickers, and I like to make sure that because I use a range of sizes of stickers, that there would be a range of sizes of stickers in my shop too. So it's maybe it's a little selfish. Like I create what I want to create.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you consider your planner or journaling style to be more functional, creative, or a mix of both? I'm probably gonna guess it's a mix of both because I've seen everything that you have created so far. But what's your take?
I would definitely agree with mix of both. I have I have weeks where I'm very much in the functional world, where I don't want any decoration. I just need straightforward lines and writing and just move forward. But then there's other weeks where I don't know, I'm really feeling that kind of like creative push. Like I really want to draw. I really want to do ink stuff with fountain pen inks. It just depends on the week or the day, even what I'm feeling. But I would definitely say it's a mix of functional and creative. And I like to do like a combination most of the time, where everything's kind of functionally laid out. And then once I have it all functionally laid out, then I'll go back in and add, bits of artwork or creativity, splotches of ink, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. And I see that all the time in your planner spreads. And it's like, I was always wondering, like, where does she get all of these ideas to like, tie a cohesive theme in a spread, in a month. And like, sometimes I just grab whatever is on hand and just slap it on my paper. But, it's whatever floats your boat.
That works too sometimes, right? Like, you're like, I have the sticker sheet, I haven't used in a while, and I probably just want to use it. And I'm just like, you know what? It matches the colors on this sheet. Let's just put them together. And it worked out.
Absolutely. We're talking about sticker sheets, and I think it's a great segue to your small business. And I know you've mentioned it already before about what inspired you to start your sticker business. And I know you mentioned it's about creating what you want. Is there any other like inspiration that started this small business?
I would say it comes down to I talked about back in the beginning, like how I was just really unhappy. So my career was not my favorite. I worked in a hospital for 6 years, and I really struggled with I would say like the negativity in that base. Yeah. And came to a point where like I would come home day to day and just be so, for lack of a better word, like depressed, like just really not in a good headspace. And the only thing that would kind of bring me peace is, those hours at the end of the day where I would be with my journals or creating art or playing with my fountain pens or fountain pen ink. And luckily my fiance, he's the sweetest person ever. He was like, you know what? You should quit and do what you want. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. And so I decided that I would quit my job after I had started my YouTube channel and see how it went. And since the YouTube channel kind of, I guess, exploded, which I was not expecting, I was like, I'm going to create stickers I'm going to create stickers too, because it's something I really enjoyed. Like I'm already doing this type of artwork on my own on my iPad, like drawing and stuff. Like I might as well try to sell it and see what happens. And that's kind of the start of the stationery shop. And then it's kind of progressed now that I'm almost 2 years in, that it's just, I really enjoy it. Like I just enjoy the business aspect of it. Like I enjoy the, creating product. I enjoy making the marketing for it. Like I don't know, there's something about it that's really satisfying because it's something that came out of my brain design became a physical object and is now being put out into the world. Like, I don't know, there's just some kind of satisfaction to it.
I see. So that point in your life that became the tipping point for you to really
Mhm.
pursue what you're really passionate about. It's, it's not for everybody, like just up and
No,
quitting
it's
your
definitely
job.
not for everybody.
Yeah,
It's not
and
for everybody.
I'm really happy for you that this is just took off. I think it was also serendipitous that happened because I
Mhm.
guess the universe really noticed that you needed this for yourself, and I'm really happy that this has happened for you. And
Yeah.
yeah, my next question was how do you balance? But I guess that answered the question, right? You are doing this full time.
Yeah, so I am doing this full time now. I would say balancing with like my social life is the hardest part now because
Oh,
I mean being a business owner, you do have to work pretty much constantly. I mean, like I'm constantly answering emails or messages on Instagram. I'm constantly thinking of ideas for YouTube. I'm constantly thinking of, ideas for stickers. So like my brain never really shut down in terms of like the business or content side of things. But at the same time, it's taken a hit on, I guess, like my social calendar because like I can't just drop everything and go. I mean, I could, but then it would be like I'm sacrificing the opportunity. Like I don't know how to describe it other than just like I want to do more for my business without sacrificing my social life, but at the same time, sacrificing my social life like allows my business to get more time. So it's like a pick and choose. So I have to choose what I want to work on or be doing and hope for the best.
yeah, but I think, at least the stuff that you share on your YouTube, because you did take like Vipassana, right? You
Hmm.
I don't know how long, 2 weeks was it? And then
It was 2 weeks, yeah.
yeah, so it's like, oh my gosh, I sound like a stalker, but I'm just watching everything that you create. So it's like I really appreciate you sharing all of these things because
Yeah.
people are curious, like, how does she do everything? But she is
It,
full time.
it's
Yeah.
it is full time. I would definitely say the balance aspect of it is, like I said, picking and choosing. But it's also, I guess, like with any work situation, like if you're trying to prepare for a big vacation you're taking or your time off, like you try to get, all of those tasks done before you leave because when you come back, it's just going to be all sitting there waiting for you or piling up. And so, like for the Vipassana at the beginning of the year, like I had just come down from doing my big Black Friday sale in December, and I had like 2 weeks after that pretty much to just prepare to be gone. Like no internet, no nothing with Vipassana. Like it was completely an isolated space, and I knew that I needed to create YouTube videos for a couple of weeks. So I pre-planned all of those, pre-filmed all of those, got those ready, and then I sacrificed maybe like a lunch with my mom or a D&D session or something just so I had a couple of extra hours to work on that. And so the balance aspect of that is like I made time. I made time for it. And
Absolutely.
I think that's something that most people need to realize too. If there's something they really want to do, you got to make time for it. Like you can't just hope that it happens.
100%. Yeah. So we're talking about all of these things. I think my next question would be to if you could share some of your biggest lessons or surprises or like insights on everything that you've encountered so far.
I would say like one of the biggest lessons is to just create something that you're passionate about, because if you're trying, like let's say you're trying to follow a trend or you're trying to work on something that's really popular at the moment but you don't really feel very passionate about it, I think it takes more of a toll on you personally than it would on the content you're creating. So I wouldn't fall, the biggest lesson, don't fall into the trap of trying to keep on trend. And then I would say surprises wise, just prepare to expect the unexpected, because I mean there are times where like I'm really excited about a video I've made and then it absolutely does not get the number of views that I was hoping. Or same thing with like a sticker release where I was really excited about one of the sheets or one of the pieces that I made and it just didn't sell like at all. So, but on the flip side of that, there's times where like I just sat down and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make a video about this today because I feel like it, and it may not be like the best quality video I've ever made and it takes off on YouTube. So just expect the unexpected when it comes to surprises for sure. Like there's no way you can really plan it out without like, I don't know, there's no way to really plan what's going to happen with that. It's kind of just what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. So we talked about your business, but I'm sure for all those who are listening, who are following your channel and who are also your customers, what are some of the upcoming plans for your shop or your YouTube channel that people should watch out for?
I definitely am just planning on keeping on growing. I want to start season 4 of my ink swatches. So my fountain pen inks, there will definitely be more seasons to come. I'm on season 3 right now. And then then for like shop plans, I'm definitely working on some new collections coming out. I'm also hoping to add more, I guess, non-paper stationery items. So maybe eventually add like washi tape or something like that. Right now, the only non-paper items I have are planner charms, which I've really been enjoying working on, especially because like I don't just put them on my planner, like I'll put them on my pencil bag or on my keychains even. Like I don't know, there's just something fun about that. But definitely creating more and just trying to grow more just because it's fun. I don't know, there's something about it that's just really fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And you spoke about collections. Is there any collection that you are willing to share that's coming up in the future, or is that top secret?
It's not top secret. I'm definitely working on a new set of monthly kit for like your planner. So last year I did a planet themed monthly kit for every month of the year. And so this year I'm working on a new set. I won't release the theme, but I'm working on a new set, and I'm also hoping to add a new size. So currently I only have a 5 size things, but there might be a new size coming to the shop too.
Stay tuned. All right. So, if you could dream big, Danielle, what's a long-term goal that you want to have for your brand, for your YouTube, for your shop?
This is like another tough question because you have so many dreams as a creator or something. Like you want it to just explode at some point, right?
Yeah.
But I would say like the main thing on my mind right now is having my own fountain pen ink, because
Oh wow!
I'm so obsessed with fountain pen ink. It's like an addiction. I need to have like an Inkaholics Anonymous meeting or something. I have over 1,000 inks in my collection, and
Over 1,000.
over 1,000, and I don't know, there's something that I'm so drawn to just having an ink that has my name on it, right? Like, Dandelion Diaries ink. I have no idea what color I would pick, but that's something I definitely want in the future, is to have my own ink for sure. Maybe a line of inks, I don't know, but it's something I want to work on.
So you're thinking about like
future.
formulating your own ink.
Yeah, I don't know how to get started with that or the process. So if anybody listening wants to reach out to me and ask about, creating an ink with me, let me know. But I would love to have a collaboration or my own line, just to put it out there. Like, I don't know, it's just something that's so much fun to me. Like fountain pen ink is so unique. Like every color is slightly different, and there's something that I really enjoy about it. So having my own would be really cool.
I would be down for that.
I know it's kind of niche. Not everybody uses fountain pens, but if you're listening to this with my name on it, you probably know fountain pen ink is probably an obsession of mine. So,
and I love that. And I'm like, I didn't include it in my questions, but I'm just curious, like, how many pens do you have? How many fountain?
I'd have to pull up my spreadsheet. It's a lot.
Is it like over 50?
It's over 50, and I would say this year I've definitely acquired a lot more than I was anticipating already, and it's only July. But I don't know. I would say in the fountain pen world, there's years, like with fountain pen releases, like you have a couple of years, like every other year has releases that are like really good, or that I'm really drawn to at least. And then there's other years where I'm like, yeah, none of those pens kind of spark my fancy. Like I don't want any of those. I'm good with the set I have. So it's kind of like this cycle. And I think this year I've just had a lot of good pens that I've really had on my wish list available to me, and I've had the ability to like get them, which has been really cool. So it's over 50. I'd have to do a count to give you an exact number.
Okay, yeah. And I've been having so much fun watching those videos as well, because when you get into this hobby, it's a steep and slippery slope. Oh my God.
It is a rabbit hole. It is, you will fall like Alice. Like it just keeps going down just forever.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so much fun though. Thank you for sharing
It really is.
Yeah. And before we wrap up, I do have like a segment called This or That, the stationery edition. So I wanted to ask you like a couple of just very short questions. Like I will present like 2 options, and from the first thing that comes to your mind, you have to choose between the 2 of them. So whenever you're ready, I hope you're fine to do this.
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Okay. All right. First thing, Hobonichi or Traveler's Notebook?
I'm a Hobonichi girl through and through. I've been Hobonichi for a while now.
I've been wanting to ask, I've never seen you use Traveler's Notebook. Is there a reason why, or you just prefer Hobonichi?
So when I got out of college, I tried to use the Traveler's Notebooks, I guess, because that's when I initially started wanting to do like the health journal in addition to like my work stuff and social calendar. So I had like 3 books, I guess. Mm-hmm. And the Traveler's Notebook was really intriguing because I could put all of it into like one cover, right? And just carry it around as like a one book system. Yeah. But when it came down to archiving it, like putting it on my shelf, there was, I don't know, there was something in my brain that it was just like, I don't like this. I don't know if it was because like everything was very like too segmented almost, or like it didn't have a spine that I liked. I don't know. There was something about it that I was just like, I don't like this. I'm gonna put this to the side. Maybe I'll revisit it later in my life. But yeah, after that, like I tried it for like a year, and then I was just like, I don't think this is for me. So I switched to Hobonichi after watching the video from Helen of the Coffee Monsters Co. Like I said, she's just a goddess. And after that, I was like, I am so hooked on Hobonichi, and I was Hobonichi for like 3 or 4 years, and then I changed into the Sterling ink, and then the planner world exploded after that. So
exactly. So would you say, I'm just really curious about this, the direction where this conversation is going to. Do you think you'll be using Traveler's Notebook within the foreseeable future or not?
I would say not right now. I definitely already have an idea of what I want for 2026, but since I'm getting married this year, and after that becomes starting a family, and so I would think at some point a Traveler's Notebook might be good for me to keep track of like kids or any kind of pregnancy things, or just the next steps in my life. Like I may need a smaller book that I can put in a little collective thing to take to a doctor's office versus just one book that has just health stuff in it. So I definitely think Traveler's Notebook maybe in like a couple of years I might give it another shot, but for next year I would say no.
I see. So it's not completely closing the door.
No, it's definitely an option. I mean, I do like the idea of having individual books in one book, because my brain likes the compartmentalization, likes the categories, but my brain also likes the idea of this one book to rule them all kind of situation.
And that was actually my second question. Is it one book or multiple books?
I would say it depends. I would say,
but if you were to choose one,
if I was gun to my head, like sitting on the floor, you had to make me pick one, I would probably pick one book to rule them all. And that's it, but it has to be a book that is like, it has to be a book big enough to hold everything, because I refuse to give up on the different things that I want to keep track of.
And I know that you have try the Nisha Fernando designs. Is it something that is very close to what you want?
It is. It definitely is. I really have fallen in love with that planner this year. Like, big surprise to me. You're like, I reached out to Nisha and I was like, hey, I really love the idea of your book. Can I compare it to Hobonichi? And she was like, yeah, for sure. And I've the first month I had it, I was like, I don't know about this, but I think it was the paper, because of the Sansa and Tomoe paper we've had this year has just been awful, and it really put me off because I love using my fountain pens, and my Hobonichi that I had was the paper I got in that one was really decent. Like, I was really happy with it, so I was using that. And then I gave the Journey Planner a second chance for the second quarter of the year, and that kind of hit it home for me. I was like, it's got everything in it. The only section in it that I wish I had a few more notes pages and a section in the front that I can do weather tracking, and then I think it would be perfection for me, because it has the meal tracking in it. It has the space for weeklies and dailies and habit trackers and everything else. So it really does have everything, but it's not perfect. Yeah.
I was actually, when I was like formulating these questions, I'm like, oh, I bet Daniel's gonna choose multi-planners. And I'm like, I lost the bet to myself.
It is really hard, because if I could choose, yeah. If I couldn't, like, if it was like my one choice for the rest of my life, like I could never go back, I would probably have to say one book, just because it makes it simpler, and like storage wise and finance wise, like it's only one book and I can put everything in it. But like I said, it has to be a book big enough to hold everything. And the Journey Planner is like almost 600 something pages, so maybe that's why it works out. I don't know.
Yeah. Fair point. Okay, next question: dot grid or blank pages?
Oh, that's tough. That is so tough.
Just the one.
Man. Okay, are we using the paper? Like, what are we using the paper for? Is it for planning, like bullet journaling, or is it for just like
particular? Generally speaking,
I would say generally speaking, I'd probably pick dot grid, just because the guidelines. So I could use if I could only buy, again, one notebook for the rest of my life, I'd probably pick dot grid, because I could use it for anything. I could use it for planning, or I could use it for art, because the dots are they're pretty not there. You have to really look for them unless you're using something that they show through. But dot grid.
Sticker kits or washi tape?
Man, these are hard questions.
I'm so sorry. I thought it would be easy, because I'm really also very curious to know what your choice would be.
I'm gonna go with sticker kit
Right.
just because you get more variety. So like if
Fair
I
point.
only had washi tape to decorate a spread, I'd have to do a lot more work, like cutting out shapes and
Layering.
laying things out,
Yeah.
layering. Yeah. But with like a sticker kit, I'm like, it's already on the sheet. I just peel it off, stick it down, and I'm done.
Okay, fair point. I'm sorry if these are like tough questions, but
No, they're good questions. They are good questions. They're just they're making me make some hard choices.
I hope this is not as difficult. Fine nib or broad nib fountain pen?
Fine nib. That one's not difficult at all.
Okay.
But
Fine nib
because
pen. Really?
yeah. So the reason I say this is because with a fine nib, I can do a lot more than I can with a broad nib. So with a fine nib, I can write really, really tiny, but I can also, write broader by, thickening the lines, like doing multiple strokes in a row to make it look like a thicker line versus like with a broad nib pen, that's all you got. You got a thick line and that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do reverse writing, but it's not going to be the same.
Absolutely. Yeah, fair point. Fair point.
Yeah.
And lastly, muted tones or bright pastel?
I'd probably, that's kind of tough.
Oh, is it?
It depends on my mood because I do have times where I really just want to do like neutrals and like nothing super crazy. So I would say that seasonably where that changes because like in like the fall and winter, I'm really drawn to more muted tones. And then naturally like spring and summer, I'm very drawn to bright colors. Can I pick both?
I guess for this, I mean, that's fair. Like, I would understand because depending on the season, right, your mood will change,
Yeah. I
you
mean,
would
spring and
favor-
summer, like all the flowers are out and it's bright and sunny and like just bright colors work for me then. And then in like the autumn and the winter, the leaves fall and it gets darker and like there's more dark hours in the day than light hours the day here. And it just, the more neutral colors, I guess, speak to me then.
Yeah, fair point. And I could never take away like both options for a creative person and the designer.
It's so hard.
I think that's pretty much it. That whatever I wanted to ask. But when we wrap up, I just wanted to ask you first if you have any message that you'd like to share with fellow stationery lovers or aspiring journaling creatives.
For any, fellow stationery lover out there, I would just say keep having fun, keep creating, just enjoy your space, enjoy using the things you love. And then for anybody who's maybe wanting to start their own content channel or their own sticker shop or something like that, I would say bite the bullet and give it a shot. I mean, you don't need anything fancy. You can start it on Etsy. YouTube is free to create a YouTube channel. Yep. Like just start and see what happens. It doesn't have to be perfect. Use your phone as a camera. It's got a microphone on it too. You don't have to buy any fancy equipment. Just, set up on your bed if you don't have a desk. Just start and see how it goes.
Absolutely. Take the first step. Everybody.
Yeah.
Start doing what you love.
Start doing what you love. I love that.
So Danielle, where can people find you online?
Well, we talked about YouTube a lot. YouTube is probably the main spot. I wish YouTube had direct message sometimes, not gonna lie. Yeah. But other than that, I do have an Instagram. I have not really been posting a lot on it lately just because I've had a lot of qualms with Instagram, but we don't even talk about that. But you can message me on there. I do respond to my messages, pretty regularly. And then I also have my email, which is listed in the description of, I think, on my channel. It's like in my little portfolio thing. So if you want to send me an email, you can send me an email too.
That's it. Thank you so much, Danielle. I really appreciate your time coming through the show today. And as always, keep on creating. I really enjoyed this conversation.
Yeah. Thank you, Anne. Thanks for having me.
And there you have it. Many thanks again to Danielle from My Dandelion Diaries for sharing her inspiring story and creative journey. I will link all of Danielle's social channels so you can reach her if you're interested. And thank you for joining me today in another episode here at the Stationery Junkie. And if you enjoy this content, feel free to subscribe and share your thoughts in the comment section, and I will see you in the next one.